Hello friends and welcome to Share Them Smiles. I'm Alyssa. So I've decided to take part in my first ever readathon. I've been following them for a while, and so this one just kind of came around at the right time, and I will be doing Booktube-a-thon, which takes place July 29th to August 5th, which July 29th is the day I'm filming this, so I'm a little late to the start. That's alright. Booktube-a-thon is 7 days, there's 7 challenges, and I guess the ultimate goal is to try to complete all 7. So I've already picked out my books right here, and we're going to just go through them. So the first challenge of Booktube-a-thon is you have 2 books and you do a coin toss to decide which one you're going to read. Since I'm kind of a klutz and didn't trust the coin in front of you all, you're going to just have to take my word for it, but there was a witness. I did toss a coin, and the books I had to choose between were House Rules and The 10th Circle, which are both by Jodi Picoult and both already on my TBR. And after the coin toss, I'm going to be reading The 10th Circle by Jodi Picoult. And this book I'm not going to talk too much about because it was already in my video where I had you guys help me pick the books I would be reading in July. So if you want to learn more about this, look for it. So the second challenge is a book that pertains to something you want to do. For this one, I wasn't really sure what to do with it. I was kind of looking at all my books and I didn't think I really had anything, but I did come up with something. And so I've talked about music a lot on this channel. It's very important to me. It's something that I will be bringing back. I know I've kind of gotten away from, but we will have more on here. And one of the things that I've wanted to do with that is to work more on songwriting. And so for that, kind of pertaining to that, I came up with Anatomy of a Song by Mark Myers. I know this book was also in a TBR I did, or not a TBR, a book haul that I did a while ago. But it basically just goes through and talks about these different songs like one at a time and kind of dissects them and what makes them what they are. And so I think that this pertains to something I want to do, and I think that it definitely fits the criteria for this challenge. For the third challenge, you're supposed to do a book-to-movie adaptation, which means you read the book and then you watch the movie following that. And for this one, I will be doing the children's classic, A Wrinkle in Time, which had a movie come out in the last year or so. And so I haven't had a chance to see it, and I've actually never read this book, but it's been suggested to me multiple times, and so I've decided this is the perfect time to just jump into that. For the fourth challenge, you're supposed to read a book with a green cover, and I was looking through a few different ones, but then when I realized this one, it was perfect. I am going to be reading The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. This is going to be a reread for me. I don't know if you're really supposed to, but there's really no rule against it as long as I read the book, as far as I know. If there is, I'm sorry, you can comment down below. I won't make the same mistake again, I guess. But I'm super excited to jump back into this one. I haven't reread it in a long time, and it's been one of my favorites since I first read it when I was like a freshman in high school, which my 10-year anniversary is coming up. So it's been a while, but I'm definitely excited to jump back into this one as well. Alright, for the fifth challenge, they've decided to do something a little different, which is actually kind of fun, and that's to read the entirety of a book wearing a hat. So every time you read that book, you wear a hat. For that, I don't really have a lot of hats, so I'm going to be borrowing Jocelyn's hat, which is right here. And every time, I will be wearing this as I read Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, which is a book that I've been looking forward to reading for a long time. I actually hadn't heard of this until I heard a song from the musical, and I fell in love with that song in particular, and that made me look into the story, and it sounds really cool and something that's right up my alley. And so I'm really looking forward to reading this for the Booktube-a-thon. Yes, it's called Booktube-a-thon. For the sixth challenge, you're supposed to pick a book that has a beautiful spine. And for that one, I decided to go with this spine, which is The Evolution of Copernicate by Jacqueline Kelly. I love the yellow with the black on top of it. I think it's so beautiful, and I love the fact that it carries over into the spine, and so I felt like it was the perfect fit for this particular challenge, and I'm super excited to jump in. For the 7th challenge, the goal is to read 7 books. So it can be any book you want as long as it brings the total to 7. And for that, I'm going to be reading A Stolen Life by J.C. Dugard. This is a memoir of someone, well, J.C., who was kidnapped and held hostage for years, and it's her story. And it's a book that my sister read, and it meant a lot to her. It moved her in some way, and so she's actually been suggesting it to me for a while, and so this will be my 7th book. So this summer has been crazy for me in terms of reading. So I've been trying a lot of different things. At the beginning of this month, I had a TBR where I had you guys help me decide what books I'm going to be reading, and I actually got some extra responses, so I'm going to have that carry over into next month as well, which I'm really excited about what you guys have been coming up with. But I also recently joined a new library, and they're doing these fun summer reading challenge bingo cards, and each category, once you read the book, you mark it off. The X's I've read already, and the purple ones are ones that I'm working on or planning on. This is due about the same time as this Booktube-a-thon ends, and so a lot of these books will be pulling double duty for both of those things, and I'm just really happy with how the summer's been going. I've been doing a lot of reading, and I'm super excited to finally be sharing that with all of you as well, and I'll be glad to tell you how all of that kind of wraps itself up in the end when I do my July wrap-up at the beginning of next month. In the meantime, while Booktube-a-thon is going on, I will be filming videos throughout the week. There should be at least 2, possibly more, where I'll be keeping in touch with you, letting you guys know how this is all going, and we'll just, you know, we can join in this together. If you feel free feel free to take part in this with me. If you're doing Booktube-a-thon, let me know what you're reading down below. If you have thoughts on any of the books I'm reading, feel free to leave those down below as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all, and as always, don't forget to share the smiles. Ciao for now, friends. So with the Booktube-a-thon, it actually starts on today's date. What is today's date? I'll try again. Are you reminding? It's just gonna keep running, right? Okay, so you're gonna just cut all that stuff from the beginning off, right?
Yep.
Is that okay? Okay, that's why I keep looking at you, because there are a few times in each of them that I'm like, bleh, bleh. I will be doing A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline Langler. How do you say that? Langle? I'll be doing A Wrinkle in Time. Also, if there's enough and it's not like weird, I'm not opposed to putting a couple bloopers at the end of these things.
Just flash it and put it back down.
Alright, cut that part out. Alright, let's do this one more time. Okay.
These are my books.